One of the companies that I've personally had the good fortune of watching you work with is the Human Resources Certification Institute. Talk a little bit about how you've worked with them and some of the things that you've been able to help them produce.
Well, I've had the pleasure of working with Benny Johnson, who is amazing. Benny has put together a virtual team, which you're on, which I'm on, and which has created real magic and made a huge, huge splash in the marketplace, both among certificates, people who hold certifications, and potential certificants, and business leaders. He's brought business leaders together. We've been fortunate to be part of this team that has been in multiple events around the United States, some outside the country. I've written for his Certified magazine, which is a high-quality magazine that gets distributed internally to HRCI and to targeted business partners, and written about them in Fast Company a couple of times. And we've done some webinars with people who hold HRCI certifications who work for the top 50 most innovative companies as identified by Fast Company. So there's this whole constellation of events. And what's so great about working with Benny is that we get together and he will start to describe this vision that he has of what he wants to create in the future. And it will really be remarkable. And then, you know, within the next 3 to 6 months, it becomes real. He does it. I mean, you and I, we show up in cities together and there's the audience, there's this amazing venue, people are exciting, there's incredible speakers up there. Part of my job is to help with the production of the event, so I identify the speakers in advance, I coach them, and then I'm up there on stage with them to MC. So I'm not only behind the scenes, but I'm also in front of the camera, and you're behind the camera, so we get a chance to work together a lot. It's real magic that HRCI has created, and I've had the good fortune to be working with them for 3 years now, and I've seen a tremendous rise, real business results. They are now in over 100 countries around the world, which means their global expansion is going great. They've gone from, you know, in the last 5 years from 96,000 certificates to 125,000 certificates. So that's just phenomenal growth. You know, Benny is to be attributed for it. It's a real pleasure to work one-on-one with him. He's a really special guy.
And one of the other things that you do at these events is you MC these events. And
yes.
I've, again, had the good fortune of working with you at these events, and I've gotten to see just how articulate you are and how seamlessly you help the audience to stay engaged, and it really keeps it bright and light, and people have a lot of interaction. And I think maybe some of that street theater kind of background really helps with that. But talk about like some of the speaking engagements that you do, and again, I've of course been able to see you with HRCI, but others, and talk about how you work with the crowds and to get them moving and different things that you do.
Well, I really believe in collective intelligence. I think that groups are able to pool their knowledge, their expertise, and their experience. And what you have to do is give them a form for that to happen. There has to be some structure. And the structure has to be very light, but it's very important. And I get real pleasure out of seeing a group kind of come into its own. I like to see conversations bubble up. I like people to address and attack important topics. There's nothing more thrilling when someone has got a real problem or challenge they're dealing with and they put it out and the whole group tackles it and they walk out of there with like 5 or 6 alternatives about how to handle it. To me, it's just tremendously exciting to be part of kind of invoking the spirit of a group and getting it to really blossom and to come into its own, you know. And also in a short period of time. I mean, the HRCI events are very long by contrast to a lot of events that I do. I think they're 3 hours long. That's a lot of time, but it gives you time to create momentum, to create excitement, so that by the time you get to the end, you're kind of hitting a crest. So I like the containment of the time and trying to make something happen in a short period.